evening, I'm Meryl Friend and welcome to News Geelong on this Friday the 8th of October. Tonight we hear from some of Geelong's top educators from local high schools, the Gordon and Deakin University about how prepared today's school leavers are for life in the workforce. And of course local sport updates from the world of tennis and harness racing with Nathan Curry, and we look at this week's weather forecast with Lani Salathiel. But first, yesterday was Are You OK Day? A simple question that could help someone close to you. On the topic of depression, Andrea Kozza spoke with Dr Ajit Singh from the Geelong Clinic.
Geelong Clinic is the only regional provider of the transcranial magnetic stimulation, a new treatment treating depression. And News Geelong spoke to Dr Ajit Singh and nurses Sue and Pat who administer the treatment.
Yeah, look, it's a new technique which doesn't require any medications, and essentially patient just sits in a comfortable couch. We've got our nurse Pat here demonstrating as a patient, and there's a magnetic coil held over parts of the brain which are involved in dampening down negative emotions. And it's a very powerful coil, and it induces a tiny current in the brain. The patient's not aware of it, and over repeated treatments it can actually make those parts of the brain work better which shut down negative emotions. So that's a brief overview of how it works, and the big advantage is it's very well tolerated. There's minimal side effects with this treatment. It's mainly targeted at people with more severe depression where support and counselling hasn't been enough, and also people who've struggled with medications either with side effects or haven't got a good result. And they're the particular group we focus on.
How is it different from other treatments such as ECT?
Yeah, look, the big difference is there's no anaesthetic required, there's no kind of seizure activity, so it's highly tolerable treatment. It's arguably the best tolerated treatment that we have in psychiatry in terms of biological approaches. And I think our nursing staff see that on a regular basis, that patients really don't report any adverse effects, so that's the big plus.
Sue, as coordinator of TMS, could you tell us about any of the side effects that you've seen with some of the patients you've been treating?
Yes, certainly. There's really no side effects involved with the TMS. The most that patients say is that it can sometimes make them a little bit tired. Sometimes we'll have the patients actually falling asleep in the chair while they're having their treatment. So other than that, it's really very gentle.
Pat, are there any other side effects that you can think of or lack of?
Effects, not as side effects. I've noticed a few of the patients have a twitch in their eyebrow. Some feel it, some don't.
Andrea Kozza, News Geelong.
Thank you, Andrea. And with the Commonwealth Games on everyone's lips, Debbie Meaney was able to find plenty of local talent in the gymnastics field, having great success from the YMCA.
Gymnastics here at the YMCA in Newtown is very popular and often involves competition. I have Jessica Haynes to fill us in on the success of one of her teams. So Jess, you coach some of the gymnasts. What can you tell me about the team and their recent success?
The current Level 3 team did fantastically this season. They had success in all of their competitions. They came first in their state pennant qualifiers, and in finals they came first on 2 apparatus and 3rd overall.
And they've had more success during the year as well.
Yes, they have won at most of the competitions they've gone to. They've placed 2nd and 3rd on lots of apparatus. And the Level 2 team has also had great success, making finals for the first time in 3 or 4 years for the YMCA.
So what's the future hold for this group?
Quite a lot. They've had a lot of success. A few of the girls have been recommended to go to some state team trials. So hopefully a very bright future for some of the girls.
Well, congratulations. You're obviously doing a great job coaching them.
Thank you.
So Ellie, how many hours competition do you train each week?
10 hours a week.
And are all these here on the board yours?
Yes.
How many years has it taken you to collect all of these?
Well, I haven't done it for a year, about a couple months.
What's your best apparatus?
Bars.
And do you hope to do this in the future?
Yes.
And do you think you might do gymnastics in the future?
Yes.
What's your favourite piece of gymnastics equipment?
Probably floor.
And what's yours?
Bars.
And how long have you been together as a team?
2 years.
This is Debbie Meaney in Newtown for News Geelong.
Thank you, Debbie. Care for You is an agency committed to providing one-on-one professional attendant care for people living with spinal cord or brain injuries. Andrea Cozza spoke with CEO Diane Cray.
Care for You is a program for those with acquired brain injuries, spinal cord injuries and those born with disabilities from birth. And News Geelong spoke to the CEO, Diane, and some of the team leaders, Belinda and Jeanette.
Care for You is an attendant care agency. That means we provide carers to work one-on-one with our clients. Now, our client base predominantly has either a spinal cord injury or a brain injury, and all our clients live in their own homes in the community. And our job is to assist them with their personal care and assist them with their daily living tasks and being able to access the community.
And how are the carers trained?
Most of the carers have what's called Certificate 4 in disability. However, we provide internal training programs for them, specifically, obviously, with spinal cord and ABI training. And so we believe that we have a small organisation that has a really well-skilled care base.
And for those that think that they're prospective clients, how can they find out more about your program?
We have a website which they can go onto, and that'll give them a lot of information about us. And also they could call our 1300 number, 1300 785 350.
Jeanette, as one of the team leaders for Care for You, what does your role involve?
My role involves looking after the clients in Geelong and doing the rosters, making sure that the clients are happy with the carers that we have, getting the carers involved in the programs, recruiting new carers.
And Belinda, also one of the team leaders, how does the Care for You program differ to other programs, do you think?
I think we tend to look at people's individual needs a lot more than some of the other agencies that are out there. Yeah.
Diane, Belinda mentioned some of the individual needs that your program focuses on. If you could just expand upon that.
We have a young client who at 17 was laying in a hammock in the family backyard and the wall collapsed on him. He has a spinal cord injury, a high-level spinal cord injury, so he has very little movement from his chest down and limited movement of his hands. At the time, he was being scouted by the Melbourne Tigers because he was a very good basketball recruit potential. We have since that time encouraged him to make contact again with the Tigers through our initiative. Initially, just as a social thing, he would go along to their training sessions. And over the last few months, they've been absolutely marvellous. And little by little, he's been given tasks to do, some administration things. He's now going to do a scorer's course, so he will be an official scorer at all their games. And that's the sort of thing that we feel that we have an obligation to our clients to encourage them to join the community as best they're able, given the limitations of their injury.
Andrea Cozza for News Geelong.
Thank you, Andrea. This is News Geelong here on C31 Analogue and Digital 44 as we go to a break and return with more news after this.